So my modem crashed again. Now I'm actually a little bit sick about this. Company gets tomorrow a call from me because that's just too much. Really annoying, but what can you do? Yeah, as I was saying, some people just don't have the time like I have at the moment to play the game so heavily. And they rely just on a game that works well and also well for them. And this is the paying community. These are the people with actual money in their buckets. So it needs to be adjusted that these people are also able to play the game. Whoa. Damage reduction from distant is shit, actually, but damage reduction while injured is good. Damage reduction from bleeding enemies is good. The only thing it needs is damage reduction from close enemies.
Well struck.
Is it better though than the other pens I have on my stash?
Anything farewell and good fortune.
Damage reduction from close, total armor, and damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding. They could be better, theoretically. Usually either damage reduction from close or fortified. These are pretty high in level, item level too, so let's just roll on them. Also need to extract legendary power here pretty quick. Let's just roll on them. Take this strength away. Damage reduction is not the best. Walk right, dodge chance, stupid. Ooh, by fortify. What is the highest fortify? 14. We got 11. Seems good to me. They're pretty dope. Not gonna lie. We keep them. We also keep the other ones, just to have options in the end. Yeah, we need to get there. Yeah. So, that does not mean they need to escalate with, the things you can do in this game, how fast you are and stuff like that. It just needs to be a little bit more interesting for people, not having the kind of time every day to play this game.
Do you need my aid?
Like I said, this is the paying public.
Please.
The people with the buckets in their pockets. And for that reason, there need to be something worth for them, looking forward for them. And if you get home, I know this feeling exactly from my time I've worked. If you get home and you have 3 hours a day to play a game like this, and in 3 hours literally nothing happens, it's just stupid. But that's also a really good reason to implement the stupid, not the stupid, but the crazy idea of creating a mode or an idea like Diablo 4 bingo, because that kind of makes the game more interesting. especially for people with not too much time. They just have, I mean, you're gonna go into the game and you create a level 1 character, and then you go for a bingo board just for fun. And wait, this way. And you don't need to grind for hours to get something special. You have a challenge ahead of you, and that could be extremely fun. So the idea stands, and I'm gonna work on it, and I hope I get a little bit a push from the community. I hope it will be possible to open up a community. People are interested in this, for example. I hope that's gonna happen in the future. Not that I want to have any benefits out of it. I seriously don't care, because I'm having a job in a couple of weeks, so it's not the money I'm up to. It's just finding new people, playing with other people, having fun with other people in a game like this, and doing something different. So that's the reason. I don't wanna get rich with it. Oh boy. Giving people a reason to play and have fun, even if the game is not extremely worth it for them. It might just change the expectations for some people. And if you are interested in something like that, then just leave a comment and give me a chance to get in contact with you, and we might be able to see us in the future with a complete crazy idea, which might just work out perfectly. That would be great. In total, I think the game is great. The aesthetics are great, but Blizzard Entertainment makes just their typical Blizzard Entertainment mistakes all day long. And this is by far the worst case. But yeah, what can you do? There are so many things I'm not happy about. But overall, the game is good. It's just extremely time consuming. I'm at the moment on around about 300 hours playtime, and that's just crazy compared to someone who played this game next to his job, wife and kids and stuff like that. I've actually people right in my house. They are also playing this game in their free time, but they have 2 kids. Those kids also play. But they still didn't get up to level 100. And before the season starts, they won't get there. Just because they don't have the time, and they are also in holiday at the moment. So it's really harsh for them to get progress. They are still happy about the game because they watch everything from a different perspective. And And since they don't have too much time, it's still worth for them playing because they have still a goal. I think they are around about level 80 or something like that. Yeah. But they might also realize later on that the game just takes too much time to continue. Okay, we are full. And that's just sad to see. This is what I liked about Diablo 3 in some sort of way. The leveling process was pretty fast. Not gonna lie. And I actually liked it. People who actually knew this game, they were able to level up in just a couple of hours their characters, maybe even just minutes. And other people were just a little bit behind this, so it was never a crazy difference between those. And obviously people having extreme amounts of time, they just rushed the game immediately and got up to level insanity in just days, which is crazy. But still, I think that this is the smaller amount of people in the community, and they will always complain about things like this. Like, the game is too easy. You've seen it on Elden Ring. Everyone was talking about first the game is too hard, then the game is too easy. You didn't even know what to believe anymore. So the game is hard for someone not having played this game at all. The game is pretty hard. If you play it for the first time, you might even escalate a little bit. But obviously after you beat the game, it gets easier, and then it gets even easier and easier and easier and easier, and then it is kind of too easy. This is the name of the game. This is Elden Ring Live. And I think that's okay, because the game offers extreme amounts of replayability, even if it does not look like that. But if you like to play crazy styles and ideas, fuck you. Why are you back here? If you like to play different builds, this game has it all. And believe me, I've seen it. Is this possible? Yeah. And I think Elden Ring is one of the best games. It has, on top of everything, it feels like it does not offer too many crazy mechanics. But if you look a little bit deeper, then you realize how many crazy good mechanics there are, how many different styles and builds you are able to run, and how crazy this game actually works. And this is what I really love. And it was never an issue with getting at a specific point completely overpowered and smashing everything. It was a bigger problem from the community. Like, bleed is too strong. This is the easiest way to get through the game. Bleed, bleed, bleed here, bleed there. I always said that's not true. To be honest, I've beaten the game multiple times with multiple characters, starting fresh, and multiple different builds. But I have never really played bleed. I've tried here and there to play a little bit bleed, but I always found other ways. And to be honest, in my opinion, There are complete different ways to play the game.
Not ready yet.
Without without bleed, and I think I know that many of these ways are way stronger than bleed. The problem with bleed was for me always you start out and you are extremely weak, and you need to beat so many bosses, and it's actually also really hard to obtain all the shit you need for a really good bleed build. That makes it kind of a little bit harder to get in there. And for someone starting out with this game, in my opinion, bleed was not the way to go in every kind of way. I always said there are so many crazy good builds you can build in the early game, which make you extremely strong. But everyone was talking about bleed is so overpowered, bleed is too strong, bleed is the best build to start out your character, and no, it isn't. I can tell. I can tell right from my experience, no, it isn't. There's a hard and long way to go. If you really want to start out in Elden Ring, then try Bloodhound's Fang. This is one of the best builds I have known to get through the game, easy peasy. Don't believe everything YouTube tells you, especially about Zombo smithing stones. You just need to get your weapon up to +6, and there are 6 Zombo smithing stones, easy peasy obtainable, extremely easy. There's no problem at all. And on top of it, you are basically able to obtain a +7, which is always the biggest issue, or was the biggest issue. You're able to obtain a +7 after Red Dawn. After you go down into underground into Nokron, and you start the Rani quest line, and then you get a +7 Zombo smithing stone down there, just gimping around. And Radan is with a +6, easy peasy. Believe me, it's literally no problem.
Well struck.
Yeah, and then you have a +7 key. 8, 9 is extremely easy to pick up. It's really just picking them up. And the 10 is also, they made it extremely easy for the quest line to finish. It's literally no problem anymore. Varus quest line to get into Mox Palace, and there's actually just grabbing the key, and then you have a +10 for the rest of the game. I mean, there's literally nothing better than that compared to all the other builds. I was through the game with this build in just 6 hours. Yes, I have the knowledge, which is a big advantage. But it took me around about 6.5 hours to get through the game with Bloodhound's Fang. And it's really easy to obtain this build. It's really easy to play this build. Bleed didn't cut it. The other one is Night Sorceries. Also, everything is relatively easy to obtain. It's just a starting issue that you need a lot of intelligence to play Knight's Comet, which is the strongest skill. But after you got there and you got over this first step that you need to obtain this, that you are able to get the intelligence with a couple of few tricks. It's really easy. You get, in my opinion, one of the strongest builds in the game. It's a range build, and believe me, most bosses were just pipsqueaks against this build. No chance at all. It was literally crazy. And yeah, I never had so much fun and so much ease to get through this game. I mean, the end boss is always a little bit a clunky thing. But even with this build, after, I don't know, playing really bad after a couple of tries, I also beat Rudder Beast.
Not ready yet.
Still, where's the other one? Okay, now he's done. Yeah, so this was basically the game in easy mode, and no bleed will cut this. I can tell. I've tried bleed. I've tried to obtain bleed. There are things. I mean, you really don't want to go without any experience of the game. You really don't want to go down into the sewers and fight your way through this maze to obtain the bleed necessary things. It's just not worth it. Believe me. Ease your nerves. Oh, there's an elite. I've done this several times and I'm still fucked about this. The sewers. Yeah. In my mind, Elden Ring is a masterpiece, and when they release the expansion, I'm 100% playing it. And I'm actually doped and hyped about this. And we will see what new mechanics the game offers then. Nobody knows when it airs, but I think around start of 2024, maybe end 2023. We haven't heard anything about this. Just that they are working on it. But none other than that, there weren't any news. We know how it's called. Shadow of the Earth Tree. Yeah. But this is kind of, they have done it right, and I think Diablo on the other side, they are just doing Blizzard things like always. I actually anticipated that. I expected nothing less than this madness and this amount of bullshit. I mean, I understand that they wanna keep pushing new updates out in the world to pull people back into the game. But they have done it so heavy on this game, like it was just too much of a madness going on. I'm pretty sure I picked something, yeah, stupid up. I think it's just over the top crazy. So there are too many things that don't add up. Like the experience push was not really necessary. It should have been right in the game immediately. Was just way heavy on experience, way too heavy on experience. The farming process was just crazy, and people obviously complained about that. There's no wonder. Even I complained about that because it was boring like shit. And all the other things they're gonna push out in the future. There are so many things they should have been in the game right out of the box. And these things are actually ready. The only things they aren't ready is, for example, balance patches. They obviously release more and more balance patches. These are things that are not planned, bug fixes and shit like that. It's all stuff that's not planned from them, because how would you plan shit like this? But this is the only thing that goes on top of the planned shit and period. So in the plan shit, like I said, this is already done. I'm pretty sure that most of the game, which we'll see in the next year, is already somewhere on a drive in Blizzard headquarters, Blizzard jail. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, but this is how Blizzard works. This is how it kind of wants to work, because it is a company. And as a company, as a gaming company, you're interested in pulling people back all the freaking time. And this is what's gonna happen. This is the best way, but I understand that too. I don't have any issue with that. But here's the thing. If you escalate with this, if you overdo this, if you make it too crazy on the people out there, it's doing no good for your company too. So I think they just have done it a little bit too heavy. They should have done it a little bit more smooth. First of all, the season should not start at June 20th. I'm pretty sure they pushed it to this date because people were complaining too much. I'm pretty sure the season was planned 3 months prior launch. And I'm pretty sure if they wouldn't have done it too heavy on all the shit they have done, I'm pretty sure this would have been completely fine, because there are still a lot of people not being able to get up to level 100, and they won't be able to get there in time. And for some people, this is actually an absolute no-go still after the patch, because I kind of need to say, even after the patch, I felt like the experience is still too small you're gonna get out of the game. Why do people always invite me without even a message or something? I mean, there's literally nothing. Can't we scroll in there? Or is this my whole chat? I don't know. There's not even a message. Is this the new way to leech? Just invite people, maybe you get lucky and you are able to join them. That's crazy. Back in the day they actually asked you, would you mind pushing me? Yes, I would mind. I also had this several times on a stream. Over and over again. Please never ask me if I wanna push you. I had several people asking me if I would be kind enough to push them or to run for them a couple of nightmare dungeons or shit like that.
Well struck.
I'm not someone who says immediately no. But you know, I have a YouTube channel and I also wanted to have just a couple more people to watch, just to grow a community for things like Diablo 4 bingo, for ideas like that.
I must wait.
And I'm not asking for money or something like that, but if I push you through dungeons, through a couple of levels, you could at least be so kind and leave a like or a comment or maybe just subscribe, which is all free. This the only thing it takes from you is a couple of seconds of your time, and I spend hours pushing people finding me over my YouTube channel. So I've pushed people through dungeons multiple times and then they are not able to leave a like. I mean, just a like underneath the stream. Just press one button and it's done. It doesn't cost you something. It's, you know, it's just a little bit of a sign of kindness. I'm not doing this to get the next YouTube star. I'm doing this to have fun, you know. I'm not gonna be the next YouTube star, and I don't want to be the next YouTube star, and I don't give a shit about being the next YouTube star. You know, that's just what it is. But this was really stupid behavior. So since then, whoever thinks who can get into my YouTube channel and ask me if I wanted to push him, just leave, please, because I don't give a shit. Seriously. I had this experience how many times? 3 times now, and one actually had a question about. I think it was class related. I answered him and he said, yeah, dude. Oh no, he asked me if I'm able to push him through Uber Lilith, and no, I wasn't able. And he said, yo, thanks, and I leave a subscribe and stuff like that. And then he asked me if I would be so kind to push him through a couple of nightmare dungeons. I said, yeah, okay. You know, I mean, he said he leaves a like and a subscribe, but no, he didn't. And I don't give a shit. I seriously don't give a shit. If you like what you're seeing, if you like ideas I have, leave a like. If you don't, leave a dislike. There's also a dislike button. It's okay for me. But don't claim that you leave a like or a subscribe behind and then you get pushed through nightmare dungeons over multiple hours. That was over multiple hours with that dude, and he never left a like or subscribe or something on those lines, and that was really, really bad. So with experiences like that, I have no other choice than saying no to everyone, you know. who is coming. And I'm pretty sure there are a couple of people they would actually leave a like or subscribe. Like I said, it costs you literally nothing. I actually, a couple of months ago, I didn't know that subscribes are free. It always sounded to me like it's more like a follow. It's not really a subscribe. It sounded always like it costs you money if you subscribe to a YouTube channel. But no, it doesn't. It's actually just a follow button. Like on Twitter, follow button. Kinda the same thing, to be honest. So, but in the end, even if you don't want to subscribe because you don't want to get spammed from YouTube, I understand that 100%, but leave a fucking like. Just a thumbs up, you know? If you like what you're seeing, if I push you through the content or through nightmare dungeons multiple hours, I don't know what's so hard about this. If I like a video on YouTube, I always keep a like. Press the button, and yeah, no one asks you to pay any money for this. That would be the least thing I would do. And I know a couple of people with super chats and all this bullshit making money off of this. This is most definitely not my intention. Or donations on Twitter is the same freaking thing. I'm not a big fan. Oh shit. Okay, we have... Oh, that's good. At least we have a weapon to force damage. Already. Yeah, so please don't ask me if I wanted to push you through any content. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done with this. And you could be leaving anything.
Dark days upon us. You need a proper weapon.
I tried, and the disappointment was just too good, too great. If we get vulnerable on this, that'd be great.
Anything else?
So tomorrow I'm gonna try the level 100 nightmare dungeon. I'm pretty sure about that. Even if we don't get a ring, and we need to build around that. Oh no, it was just 89, yeah. I should actually have a look if I match any, or if I have any of these. What is it called? Legendary powers, if I have all of them. I would leave the damage by berserking and take the other one off and try to get vulnerable. That would be perfect or something. Not really perfect, but it would be great. There we go. 46. That's the highest amount, isn't it? Yeah. 47 is the highest amount. 46. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty nuts. For the damage to injured enemies. Yep. It's our next gen weapon. Shit, we need a lot of materials. We are 12 million gold. Round about that shall be enough, I guess. I don't know. It's I guess I'm gonna do this until 1 o'clock to farm gold. Well, actually, I'm gonna start now using the blacksmith for more materials, because it seems like I need a lot of materials. To upgrade any shit. Yeah, and then 1 o'clock I start event runs. Just to get my obelisk completely full and to gamble on rings again. If you don't get any damage, you can't use this ability. This will change soon, I can tell. Or should I need to kill this stuff? Yeah, die. Yeah, I guess continuing running this dungeon up until 1 seems fair. And then we get enough obols to gamble for rings. And then we start putting this shit together so that we can start tomorrow trying level 100. I think. I guess. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about this because it is still the highest content. And I'm not the top tier player. Top tier player. I also need always a little bit more time compared to other people. Because I sometimes use my brain also for other stuff. How stupid of me to do that. How could I? Okay, now we are here. Didn't even kill the whole room. Yeah. Apparently sometimes I use my brain for other stuff. For example, all these color grading skills and shit like that, I didn't get them from just playing computer games. And if you watch all these people telling you, yeah, this is how you stream and this is how you get this stuff, and on YouTube, this is how I started, blah, 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 blah. I can tell that many of these people actually never started out like this. Not all of them. There are a couple of people with skills, actual skills. But from their videos, it always sounds like it's so easy. And it is not, because I'm pretty sure some of them actually had someone over who does this for a living and set up a small kind of thing. And many of them, they are looking actually shit. Like shit.
Be wary on the road.
Let me just sell a couple of things here and then go to the jewel, because I didn't check the jewel. Others have just they just had luck, and some of them using actually stupid broken tactics to get a great setup. Which is actually easy to get. Ah, shit, so close. Critical strike chance is shit and critical strike damage is shit, but it has 635 maximum. This is really, I mean, I take off the critical 100%. This is the last way out, because that thing actually has value, and if we don't get the perfect stats on it, I don't give a fuck, because it has health.
For the light.
So it is shit, but it has health.
Well struck.
I mean, we need to get vulnerable on it, which might be a little bit harder than you think. I actually want to do this.
Will it be?
Yeah, and it's not that you just watch a video on YouTube and you're able to color grade like a pro and it looks great. Many people actually, some people actually just use the in-camera color shit without even using log or something like this. Log footage, so that's the highest dynamic range to capture. Some people actually just use the standard profile of their camera and then they set up their lights over hours, and then they gonna tell you how easy it was to set up this shit. Then other people, they have actually people coming around and setting up the shit for them. Or other people, they plan their gear they have to set up shit for them. And believe me, setting up this set, like you can see here with all the lights, took me hours. It literally took me hours to get the angle I wanted to have from my camera, at least close to what I wanted to have, because there are a lot of things that happened, like where do I position my camera? I have only one camera and I have only one lens. This is a 35mm lens on a camera with a 1.75 crop factor on 4K. That means this gets to be something around 62mm. And yeah, getting the right angle, getting the camera in position to have at least any angle that works without having half of the monitor in frame. That was the first thing to do. And it was not easy to get there. Let me tell you that. So, and then the lights, also positioning the lights, getting the right brightness. That was the next thing to do. Getting the cards set it up, the microphone, the equalizer shit for the microphone, getting all the plugins you need for OBS to set all of this up. This took me days of research, days of just trying out things, ordering stuff. Like, I mean, my camera is now positioned on a small tripod, on a really small tripod, on my table because it was the best position for it. And I needed to get a small tripod. So it basically, this is my monitor. I'm looking at my PC for the streaming, for OBS and shit like that. This is my monitor. My game is running, and my camera is right in between those two monitors, and the lens is looking right through it. So, and the problem is, this portion you can see in my background is basically the best portion of my living room. Right next to this curtain is my balcony, which I didn't want to show because why should I? And right next to this thing is a wall that's kind of in an angle. And it's just a white wall. I also didn't want to show that because it just doesn't look great. Getting this angle was just horrible because usually I have a $600 expensive tripod, an actual camera tripod, but no, it didn't really fit behind us without having any of these screens right in the way of my lens, and also the further you go away, the more you see from the background. It didn't really fit at all. So I needed to get this small thing, which is absolutely stupid. Yeah, and then the lights, positioning the lights is one thing. Key light, obviously, no problem. I knew exactly how I'm supposed to do that. Also, the blue light in the background was a thing. The biggest problem was I've streamed in the Surfer Slam for the first time, Diablo. And usually this is my usual position. Another blast wave, okay. This is my usual position from this stream. I've always played... Oh no, it's a retry. I've always played in this position, and that means on my couch, chilled. Whoa, crazy. I've always played in this position. I've always done my shit there. And everything was set up on this monitor behind me, that you might not be able to see because I'm sitting right in front of it. Or you just see a small portion of it. This was my usual position, but the problem is that right behind my couch is a wall, and getting the blue light as a really clean and good looking setup was just shit. And the wall's also white, so it's not the greatest background. So I got here on this position, and then I needed to start thinking about, okay, how am I doing this? Because I need a screen there and I need a screen there. Luckily, this is my old screen before I got this one behind me. It's actually more there. This is my old screen, and I told myself I actually don't want to do this because this is there's a reason this is an old screen. But I did it anyway. It's okay. I can live with it.
Fair trade.
Yeah, and this one was always my small second screen for my work.
Anything else?
Especially in times like Corona with home office, I've used always this screen. What the fuck? Oh, they got a new delivery. I've always used this screen as a second screen just to put some windows there.
Well struck.
And yeah, so that was clear that the screen gets there, and yeah. But getting the whole setup was extremely hard. Look at this. It has health, but it is shit.
Praise the Father.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it was not beautiful. The blue light and the key light here, this light, no problem. I knew exactly what to do and how to set them up. Was just basically the decision to get into this spot, which is my eating table. Usually. There's not much space in my living room, but it's okay. It's my space. Oh wow, this guy died quickly. Yeah, and then I knew exactly I wanted to get this orange light. What you can basically see here. The question was just how to set it up, because yeah, I don't know, it was kinda a little bit of a problem to set this up. So one more run, and after that we go for Orbis, or for short break and then for Orbis. That was a little bit of a bumper because the light is actually positioned here right next to me, behind me, and I don't really have many RGB lights. Just small ones, to be honest, and the big one behind me, the blue one. Because usually I produce product movies and stuff like this. So the small lights or the effect lights with colors, and the big one, I just got the big one because it is one of the greatest aperture lights I've always owned. So I basically set up old light, which was my first light, Godox SL60W. I set it up with an softbox on it and so-called gels. That's like a foil with... Oh shit, my screen just crashed. Let me get to set it up again. My card crashed, not my screen. Yeah. I didn't really had yeah, like I said, a light that could get me the orange effect. Easy peasy. So I bought some gels That's basically a foil thingy thing you put in front of your light that makes it orange. It's called CTO, convert to orange. That's usually used for getting the right color temperature, set it up. And yeah, I just put a lot of these gels in front of it, which made it extremely dark, and also the color a little bit more towards red magenta-ish. And I kind of wanted to get it more into an orange, so I also, and the light also kind of got extremely dark. So there's not much power from this light. This light is it's really weak in terms of light output. It was my first light. It came $130 or something back in the day. It was pretty cheap. Still a great light, not gonna lie. Not complaining. I'm using it most likely for just assistant light or something like this. Yeah, and then I put up one of my smaller lights right there at the bottom with a little bit more a yellowish tint. Basically to get the orange light on the wall. On top of that, I had so many issues. Like the moment outside, the moment it is bright outside, there's a problem that on my wall is pretty reflective. So, and you get basically the reflections from the light outside as a really harsh light reflection on the wall. So that means I put some diffusion sheets in front of my balcony window, so that it's more like a specular highlight on the wall. What you get, and it just looked awful. Yeah, we want to do this. And to compensate for that, to get this away, I put some diffusion sheets in front of my balcony windows. That helped a lot. And made it go away. But then I put up all these lights, and my blue light, for example, had the same freaking reflection on the wall. So that means I needed to block it off. In the end, I've just used a cardboard, a piece of cardboard I had just around. From an old package. It was actually in my trash, in my we separate trash here. Usually everyone does that, I think. So cardboard is one thing, and I always have just a pack of it lying around. When I get packages from Amazon or something like that, I dismember them and put them basically in the trash, and put them all together until I have enough to throw it in the trash. That was what I was saying. Yeah, and this is what I've used. Was thankfully still there. I didn't throw it away. one really good thing. Yeah. I needed to block off this light, so it is on a grid basically. There's a grid on my soft box. I also needed to block off this light. There's also, it works with a soft box, so there's also just a grid on it. But the blue light behind me does not use a softbox, and I feel like the light looks way better if it does not use a softbox at all. I just love it more like this. I've tried with softbox, but I didn't like that. I liked it when it was a harsh light. And this, figuring out all of this shit, how I handle specific situations, that just took me ages. I mean, not ages, but a couple of days, like thinking about stuff, like how do I get these blocks, block of the lights, and set it up also correctly, and then get some sort of a lookup table into the here into OBS. So that was a lot of work, believe me.
Look out!
Yeah. And some people on YouTube, they make it sound like that's easy. But it's most definitely not easy. I mean, in the end, it's easy if you know how and what to do. But every situation is different. And if you really want to have a great looking... If you really want to have a great looking picture, it takes time. And like I said, many of these people actually use a standard profile out of their cameras. And this is just not the way to go. I also started out with the Canon camera utility software, which in my opinion is just a joke. The quality you get out of it is extremely bad. And I have a 4K camera, and I was only able to use 720p out of my 4K camera. And then I asked myself, why the fuck are you just gonna get 720p, not even HD, out of a 4K camera? What the fuck's going on? So, oh, this was, yeah, that was really good. That was extremely good by me. Yeah, and this was the point where the Elden Ring shortcuts. This was the point where I actually told myself, I need another card to input my camera picture into the game, into my PC. So a new capture card. So now I'm running 2 capture cards. And I also realized how shit Elgato bullshit is. I'm pretty disappointed for the price and the value you get out of it. Never get an Elgato card if you wanna start streaming your shit. Never ever get an Elgato card. I have so many issues with this card. That's just unbelievable. This is where I don't understand the pricing of these cards, because they are not worth what they claim there. It's also that a Gado is capable of 4K 30. The problem is, I can do 4K 30, but only with my camera. My PlayStation does not get to be 4K 30. If I attach my PlayStation, it always goes down to HD with this card. And if I attach my my camera, it actually puts through 4K 30. How much? Yeah. This is I don't understand that. It makes absolutely no sense that I don't get 4K 30 with my PlayStation if I'm able to get 4K 30 with my camera. So it makes no sense at all. But yeah, that was done. So in my mind, it's absolutely ridiculous that this happens. Yeah, it is what it is. I actually wanted to go for a small break, but I don't think we need one. Because after I get my obos, I guess I'm just looking at the items and the real build and theory crafting I'm gonna do tomorrow, I think. And yeah, looks pretty good at the moment. Yeah. Streaming is not easy by no means. It costs you a lot of money, a lot of work. Setting up all this shit is it's interesting. It was fun to do so, but it's also not easy, like many people are gonna tell you. What? 941. No, we are not able to get another round. That's okay. Yeah, and some people are gonna show you on YouTube how easy that is. They did this in 15 minutes. I can tell you they did not. 100% not. And also, I appreciate some YouTube channels not talking shit, especially in the community. Was it Austin Paul who always said, I took the whole day for this one shot? And yeah, he's right. I had the same experience. I had some shots, they required so much building up to this point that it took me the whole fucking day to produce one shot. And other things I just did in hours. And yes, this is possible, but it is not always like this. What ability was on there? Okay, shitty one. Didn't really want. I always fuck up. Yeah, and this was a YouTube channel from someone who actually was truthful about his experiences, and he always said it took me the whole fucking day to set this up. Still gambling on rings.
Until next time.
For different reasons. Like getting a better ring. I mean, we could try 1.5 or power barrage maximum life vulnerable. Ooh. 442 is not the highest, but it already has shout skills on it. The power damage is basically the most stupid thing. The barrier generation is also not great, but we could get something on it. Yeah, and I appreciated this from Austin Paul that he was literally honest about his experience. Yeah, close enemy damage would be good on this. This is also far from perfect. But it has vulnerable and close on it, so which are the most important two stats. The rest is just kinda anyway. I would rather take this away. Wow, already at a million. One more time. One more time. And that was a fail. Okay, let's see what we get out of here. I guess we leave the barrier generation. I don't like it, but yeah. Oh, nice. Overpower damage to overpower damage. Why not? Makes sense. Damage to close enemies. Here we go. It has at least health. And vulnerable damage. And it's 800. So this one, we just get the power from it. Yeah, vulnerable, maximum life, and close enemy damage. That's okay. We kind of need to compare with all the other rings we have in our stash, and also we need to think about our ring we have equipped at the moment. Let's start with those because they are the hardest problem we have at the moment. So we have damage to close, vulnerable, and maximum life. Another 800 with damage to close, maximum, a lot of maximum life and critical strike damage. But the maximum life's pretty high. If we could get vulnerable on this, I think we take away the critical strike damage. That would be great. Then we get this with a little bit maximum life, but even that one has more maximum life. Vulnerable, damage to close, but it has damage to injured. Let's make this one great. By getting vulnerable damage on it. And then I might be happy. No. Here we can go. Let's roll. Yeah. unfortunately bad. This is what I actually thought that this would happen. That means we need to take the low health pool. I mean, it has 635 compared to, that's close to the double amount. Is vulnerable damage so important? I don't really know. But it actually has all the stats we need. This one does not. The barrier generation is shit. Well, let's let's beef them up. Lost all our money. We lost millions the last couple of days just to yeah, right. Just to get some rings with actual horrible stats, to be honest. Not gonna lie. This is ridiculous. This game is so fucking ridiculous in this regard. Yeah, but it is what it is. So how much does it have? 745 health. That's nothing. You could have 1200. The same with this one. Oh yeah. We need to build rustable parts. But look at this. This is not even. This is also just round about 700. Yeah, this is what I meant, but we need to use let's get 20. So expensive. Yeah, we spent millions of gold just to get 2 rings that are actually both shit, to be honest. The biggest problem, I think, is still that 613. If you would just compare, this would have 169 and 961. I'm sorry. Just as a comparison. And now we don't have enough silver ore. We don't have enough money for other pieces of gear because we wasted even more money. And materials. Shit, I'm so broke. How did I get to this point that I'm extremely broke? I seriously don't understand. Yeah, at least we got 6 back. Yeah, socket on this one ring, and on the other ring we need to put the ability. We need to live with it. It's far from great.
May the light keep you.
But it is what it is. So the 1.5 seconds is good. No, not destroy. Item, this one. Aspect. If it's 16%, another 16% shit. These are the lowest. At the highest we have.
Fortune that is. Fare thee well.
Not great. To be honest, do I really want to change that? I mean, seriously. I don't. I seriously don't. That makes no sense. The ring we have might have critical strike chance, but it also has the same amount of vulnerable. No, it has 6% less vulnerable. But it has 372 more life. Nope, I'm not gonna change that. But I'm gonna change this. Because it has more life. Why did I spend it so... Why didn't I realize that... Now I'm really mad of myself. I hate myself for this. Because I don't have any money anymore to really look at all the other shitty items I have left. Okay. No. No. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay. Next stop. Chest pieces. Now we start off with this. And we also take this immediately because we know we use it, and we also take this immediately because we know we use it. So get rid of the rings. No, don't do it like that. Put them here. I guess that's fine. So chest piece. We have damage reduction from distant, damage reduction by fortified, and damage. Here we have strength, which is better. Maximum life. It's also better because we still miss a little bit. Armor and damage reduction from close, but we have literally no damage reduction on this. This one has 1, 2, 3 damage reduction modifiers. No armor though. But I think this one is better just because of all the damage reduction modifiers it has. And we also didn't reroll, so we could reroll the damage modifier into armor that would absolutely smash that item. I would be extremely powerful. Yeah. There we go. 5.8, it's okay. The distant damage reduction is shit. We are not gonna talk about this. So we are also using these ones because they are just literally great. We are gonna use damage reduction by fortified, cooldown reduction. Yeah, it's not gonna be worse than what I have. Movement speed, damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding. We're gonna use this most definitely. we're also gonna use this weapon. 100%. Why 21k health? How did we lose health? Oh, from the sockets, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just, yeah, 23 to 21, yeah. It's just the sockets. That's no problem, that's fixable. Yeah, we don't need to roll anything on those because they are just great. They just need to be upgraded. Let's start with the necklace. Oh yeah, great. Okay. I can't do shit. So we need to farm tomorrow a little bit. To be honest, I would be so dope if this would work in any kind of way, but it does not. In terms of pens, damage reduction, yeah, we need to decide. So these are no-goes. We can put them there just to have them back and period. So damage reduction while fortified, damage reduction from distant. Again, this is shit. Damage reduction while injured is good. Damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding. Damage reduction from close. Total armor, damage reduction from enemies that are bleeding. I think we gonna run with the... We need the other items for that. And we need to equip them to see where we are with our stats in terms of damage reduction. Just 7,755 armor with this. This is really bad. So all damage reduction 10% from elites 9. That's normal. Vulnerable is also normal. 47 close is good. Distant we don't care. Just 21 bleeding. Just 27 while injured. 36 while fortified is okay-ish. So this gives fortified damage reduction. Distant, injured, and bleeding. So we would improve on that. 43 vulnerable, 46 injured, that gets higher. 28 bleeding is a little bit low. Distant, close, 37. And the rest is normal. I think we're gonna run with these pens. Because if we would go for those, I mean, they have total armor. But we would lose the injured damage negation. And the injured damage negation is just better. Switch those items out again. So these are the items we need to upgrade tomorrow. That means gold and materials are necessary to farm. Then we need to apply the legendary powers on them. Yeah, that means a lot of silver ore. And iron chunk. Iron chunk is always saying rustable parts. Yeah. That's a couple of runs, at least. Yeah, but this is a tomorrow problem for now. I'm gonna be offline and going to bed. And tomorrow, I promise we're gonna try level 100 Nightmare Dungeon. We try it. I'm not promising that we get through, but I promise that we're gonna try a level 100 Nightmare Dungeon. That's the least I can do. Have a nice day, night, morning, afternoon, whatever it is in your time zone. Just have a nice day. Have a nice time. And I'll be back tomorrow. Good night.